Imagine boarding a flight where the entire journey becomes an awe-inspiring spectacle before you even reach your destination, where your plane doesn't descend toward land, but instead glides over endless ocean before touching down on a shimmering runway that appears to float miraculously atop the waves, surrounded by nothing but the vast blue expanse of the sea stretching to the horizon in every direction. This is no optical illusion or digital rendering. This is the breathtaking reality of Kansai International Airport, Japan's $20 billion engineering marvel that stands as one of humanity's most audacious attempts to conquer nature itself. An entire international airport built from scratch on a man-made island in Osaka Bay, so precisely engineered that it can withstand typhoons, earthquakes, and the relentless forces of the ocean while handling over 30 million passengers annually. The statistics behind this aquatic aviation hub are so staggering, they border on unbelievable. Over 21 million cubic meters of landfill painstakingly deposited to create a 4-kilometer-long artificial island large enough to be visible from space, supported by 1.2 million specially treated steel pillars, driven 30 meters deep into the unstable seabed. With a terminal building so technologically advanced, it contains its own seismic adjustment systems that can compensate for earthquakes in real time. Because yes, this entire airport is in a constant state of motion, slowly sinking into the sea at a rate engineers anticipated and combat with near-surgical precision through an array of hydraulic jacks and continuous material injections that have kept it operational despite already settling over 12 meters since its 1994 opening. The origin story of this floating aviation city reads like something from a techno-thriller novel. Faced with Osaka's explosive post-war growth and zero available land for expansion, a team of Japan's most brilliant engineers in the 1980s proposed the impossible, constructing an entirely new island in one of the most treacherous stretches of water on Earth, where 60-foot waves during typhoon season and frequent seismic activity made conventional construction unthinkable. The 7-year construction process became an epic battle against nature, with teams working around the clock to stabilize the seabed, using techniques borrowed from offshore oil rig technology, while specially designed ships dredged up millions of tons of material from distant parts of the bay to create the island's foundation. The challenges were endless. Workers battled unpredictable currents that would wash away newly deposited landfill overnight. Engineers developed special concrete mixtures that could cure underwater, and architects had to completely reimagine terminal design to account for the fact that the entire structure would be in perpetual motion. The result? A 1.7-kilometer-long terminal masterpiece designed by Renzo Piano that seems to float ethereally above the water, its wave-like roof not just an aesthetic choice, but a functional wind deflection system that reduces turbulence for landing aircraft, while beneath the surface, a labyrinth of sensors constantly monitors everything from steel corrosion to millimeter-level shifts in the foundation. What truly sets Kansai apart is its living, breathing infrastructure. This isn't a static structure but an evolving ecosystem, where teams of engineers work in 24/7 shifts to monitor and adjust the airport's delicate equilibrium. The terminal building actually floats on a system of hydraulic jacks that can be adjusted independently to compensate for settlement, while the runways, built on layers of compacted sand and gravel designed to absorb seismic shocks, are resurfaced twice as often as conventional airports to maintain perfect smoothness. Beneath the waves, remotely operated vehicles equipped with lasers continuously scan the forest of steel pillars supporting the island, checking for corrosion or deformation, while an elaborate network of pumps and drainage tunnels stands ready to handle the 10,000 tons of water per minute that can crash over the runways during severe storms. The airport has become a living laboratory for seismic research, with data from its thousands of sensors helping scientists better understand how massive structures interact with earthquake forces, knowledge that's already being applied to next-generation skyscrapers and bridges worldwide. For passengers, the experience borders on surreal. Imagine looking out your plane window during final approach to see nothing but open ocean until the last possible moment, when the runway suddenly materializes beneath you like an apparition. Inside the terminal, floor-to-ceiling windows offer panoramic views of storms rolling across the bay, so dramatic they've inspired impromptu photography sessions that cause boarding delays. The airport has developed its own unique microculture. Pilots undergo special training to handle the unusual wind patterns created by the ocean surroundings, Baggage handlers have perfected techniques for loading cargo on subtly sloping surfaces, and there's even a small community of marine biologists who study the thriving artificial reef ecosystem that's developed around the submerged portions of the island, where coral and fish have colonized the steel supports in ways nobody anticipated. Yet Kansai's existence remains a high-wire act of engineering. While it survived direct hits from multiple typhoons and the 1995 Kobe earthquake, new challenges emerge as sea levels rise and climate change increases storm intensity. Engineers already have plans for additional elevation adjustments that could keep the airport operational for another century, but some scientists quietly speculate about whether we may eventually see entire cities built using these techniques as coastal populations grow. The airport has inspired similar projects worldwide, from Hong Kong's offshore airport to proposed floating airfields in the Maldives, proving that humanity's quest to reshape its environment knows no bounds. Standing at Kansai International is to witness the future of human habitation, a place where every arriving flight, every scanned sensor, every adjusted hydraulic jack represents our species' relentless drive to overcome geographical limitations through sheer ingenuity. It's a $20 billion gamble that has paid off spectacularly, a shimmering metropolis on the waves that serves as both a functional transit hub and a powerful symbol of what's possible when we refuse to accept natural barriers as permanent obstacles. The next time you find yourself frustrated by airport delays, remember, somewhere over the Pacific, there's an entire civilization of engineers, pilots, and maintenance crews working miracles daily just to keep a tiny piece of human ambition floating defiantly against the mighty ocean. Want to plunge deeper into this aquatic aviation wonder? Let's explore the top-secret contingency plans for evacuating 50,000 people from a sinking island airport. How engineers simulate Category 6 hurricanes in wave tanks to test new seawall designs. The abandoned sister island that started tilting and became an accidental marine sanctuary. Why climate scientists watch Kansai's sea level data more closely than any other airport. The mind-bending proposals for floating cities inspired by this project's success.